What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of 333.
Yo, I've been seeing 333 everywhere.
I'm Leana.
I'm Isaiah.
All right, let's get started. Ooh. So, Zay, how's your day? How's your week going? Is it pretty good?
My week has been pretty calm, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of gigs going on.
Oh, yeah.
Some stuff confirmed for next week, which is pretty awesome career-wise. I thought it was my birthday this morning. I got like a shoe rack for like $8. I'm very happy. So it's been a fun week. How about you?
Oh, well. Well, I had a calm week and a weekend. My birthday was yesterday.
Yes, 25.
Yes. Happy belated birthday to me.
Ooh.
I had a really calm birthday.
Okay.
I went to get a massage. It
Ooh,
was so relaxing. It was so calm.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
I got free stuff from there because it was my birthday. I was like, okay, thanks for the free gift.
Right.
I got free coffee.
Okay.
Like I got the biggest size coffee they got, and I got it.
Okay.
I also got a free like big cookie too from another place. It was really good. It was like the type of cookie that they have. They're huge, but like very like soft. Like I was surprised. It's my first time going there. I was like, okay, cool, free cookie.
Okay.
And then after that, later on in the day, I went to a dinner, and it was like a taco place, but they also served ramen there. And I was like, you know what? I was kind of like, maybe I should try it, and I did. It was very, very pleasant. I like it, and I want to go back.
Oh.
Yeah, surprisingly, right?
Okay.
But what's your type of like favorite food when it comes to that? Like, do you like tacos? Do you like ramen?
I like a bit of everything. I think it's different because I'm vegetarian, so like a lot of my options may not be like but for everybody. But like I think out of all of them that I've tried, might be tacos.
Really?
Tacos are my favorite.
There's like vegetarian tacos?
Yeah. So like the way it would be like you could do like tofu as like a meat substitute, or mainly just simply beans. Like that's literally just easy. Every place usually has them, and it's just like I just love tacos. Like I can really go for like a $4 taco, like a street taco.
Oh my god, I love me some tacos too, but like I can't. I don't know how you're like a vegetarian. I love meat. Pause.
Wait.
I just like steak. I like ribs, a burger, like whatever. Like I just love me some meats. Pause. But yeah, I don't know how you could do it. But hold on, I do gotta give you this. Like I tried his rice earlier, and it was so good. I'm not gonna hold you. I was very surprised. Like I like food. You're welcome. I like food that is very flavorful, and the fact there was like no meat, including in the beans, I was so surprised. I'm like, oh my god, I want some more later after today.
Oh,
please.
I mean, I got some more. So
got you.
After this
Can't wait.
Yes.
But let me ask you this question.
Okay.
You just said that you like tacos, right?
Yeah.
But like, other than that, what's your favorite like vegetarian type of meal?
I would say like favorite vegetarian type of meal. I guess anything that like how like Mediterranean Indian culture is, because you'll have like rice, you'll have like the curry or stew, or any type of dish where it's like a sauce based. I like those types, and mind you, I cook for myself. I've been doing that for 5 years now. So whenever I make those, I find it not just the easiest, but like it's the best type where like you can experiment a little bit when it comes to seasonings and spices. So that's how I do it.
I love that. Like again, flavor.
Yes.
Key. I don't like anything bland. Oh my god.
No.
I'll just throw that away. I'll spit it out.
Oh, trust me, I don't do anything bland. I got spicy. I got you.
Scenario, right?
Okay, scenario.
Let's say you're on a date with a girl. Would you like introduce them to like vegetarian foods?
I would, but not the first date.
Oh,
Here's my thing, right? I feel like the first date is where you get to know the person. You want to get to understand them, right? My problem with vegetarian veganism is that there's a lot of people who are kind of very smug about it and be like, I can't have this and this and that until later. Okay. And it's like what are we doing here? Like why go out to eat if that's the case? If anything, you know what? Suck it up. Eat that one burger that has like mayo or something on it, and just call it a day. You're here to have fun with someone else.
Exactly.
To make that more about yourself, that's ego. And at the end of the day, it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
like,
can have a good time.
yeah, but to fully answer your question, I don't worry about that. At the end of the day, it's like, as long as you're eating good, I got my food. We can have differences.
Yeah,
That's all
exactly.
right. Yeah.
Keep it a bean.
It's calm.
Now,
Mm.
I know we like mentioned like about dating,
Yes.
but let's like segue more into that.
Okay.
So like,
Okay.
First, like, let's do like a background thing when it comes to like our dating. What?
Lives?
Yeah, our
Dating
dating life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So, are you single? Yes or no?
Yes, I am single.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, me, I am taken. I do have a boyfriend.
I feel like a lot of stuff on the internet, on social media platforms, it basically focuses on the negative aspects of dating. Right? Dating in 2024 is trash. Oh, nobody wants to date anymore. Let's focus on myself. I think because they're two different opinions, I'm single, in a relationship, we could probably put out a bunch of ideas that, are positive in dating, right?
Yes.
And disclaimer, we are not scientists, we're not therapists, we are not psychologists. These are just stuff that we've seen from, me and my, experiences, you with your relationship.
Right.
I got some notes,
Yes.
some ideas.
There we go.
Do you know about attachment theory?
No.
Okay, so attachment theory, it is this idea that the relation between a child and their parent impacts how we as adults communicate with each other and how we interact with each other, right? Most people have insecure attachment styles. A very small percentage of us have secure attachment styles, right? And the thing about this theory is that you don't stick to just one. Over time, depending on what partner you're with or whether you do the work yourself, you can grow from insecure to secure, right?
Yeah.
Now, there are 14 types of parenting that affect how the upbringing of a child may be, right? You have emotional, you have driven, you have passive, and you have rejected. Emotional essentially is that it's instability, right? They're basically instilling fear on the individual because nothing around them is concrete, it's not safe, and therefore it makes it hard for the child, right? You have driven, which essentially is perfectionism. That everything got to be perfect, everything has to be a certain way. They have this urge to fix everyone and everything around them, right? There's passive, which essentially means that it's an individual that avoids dealing with any negativity, the problems. If anything there, you gotta like just push it away, you gotta squash it. You know what I'm saying? There's no real type of thing to talk about it. It's like, for example, someone would be like, don't cry or anything like that. But it's like, no, emotions are energy. Emotion, you gotta address the emotion and let it out.
Let it out, right?
And then you have rejected, which people who are more withdrawn, they're very dismissive. Yeah. So that's kind of the 4 types of parenting. And with that, it affects how the child will soon grow up to be, right? So there are 4 different types of attachment styles. They're disorganized, insecure, anxious, insecure, avoidant, and then secure, right? You have secure, which essentially is a healthy view of yourself, good self-esteem, you're comfortable with intimacy, you know what I'm saying? Again, not that many people are that, but it's not hard to get to that stage of somebody, right? Then you have insecure, anxious, which what happens is when your parents are very inconsistent, and therefore you're constantly trying to gain approval.
Oh.
Yeah. So, a lot of times these people are very anxious about their partner. They focus a lot about the relationship. You know what I'm saying? They're very, I want to say clingy, but they're a type where it's like, you can't be certain feet around, away from them. Type like that.
Right.
Then there's insecure avoidant. The parents were negligent or borderline abusive, and therefore the kid does not, really want approval, kind of rebellious, if you will. There's a fear of intimacy, right? And, I feel like both of those are very common, but there's the 4th one, right? Disorganized, or also known as the fearful avoidant. These type of people essentially cling to one of the parents, as their only source of safety, and it kind of affects them in a way because now they have hot and cold dynamics. One minute they'll be all up on you, they want to be around you, but then they'll pull away. They're basically driven by fear, right? There's like I said, so they have a mix of anxious and avoidant tendencies, and they usually have what is considered unpredictable behavior. Yeah, which makes it hard. But again, it's one of those where it is like you don't stay that way. A lot of times anxious and avoidant or fearful avoidant, they usually go together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but again, people grow, but you have to be able to say to yourself, I want to grow
and I want to learn myself more. So you have to be more comfortable with yourself.
Yes, and do the work.
And do the work. Exactly. Therapy,
Yeah,
right?
see, there we go.
Self-help, putting yourself out there, taking more risks,
Yeah.
and addressing your triggers. And you know, that's kind of just how you know you grow as an individual.
I mean, if you want to grow.
Said about attachment styles, I feel like we could talk about some positive ideas about dating. From my perspective as someone single, and your perspective as somebody who is in a relationship, right? I got some things listed, and I'm gonna rattle them off, and we could go deeper in these topics and talk about what you think. How do you feel about friendship in terms of dating?
In terms of dating, that's very important.
Do you think it's let me ask you that? Do you think it is essential?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how my relationship started. We started off as friends.
Yes.
Like, that's a good foundation to have.
Mm-hmm.
Because, God forbid, something happens, you still have that friendship underneath.
Right.
So that's it's very essential, I'm telling you right now. For friendship, absolutely.
Okay.
Like, that's just my take.
Understandable. Because, like, I know, like, a lot of people who, for example, they have that one person
that they kind of friend zone. It's like, there's that one quality, that one trait. I don't really want to mess with that. And, you know, it's understandable. There's billions of people in this world, you know. Why disappoint one person? That one person that genuinely cares about you. But it's that love and that care that they put towards you that really helps you shine and grow. And at the end of the day, you know, like, it's a risk, but a friendship is like a cocoon. It's, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, it's going to evolve.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, yeah, it's nice and good now, but what, you know, think about what could be instead of focusing on the negative aspects of what of what the relationship could happen.
And you never know unless you try.
Exactly. So, taking a risk, which we'll circle back to later. So friendship, we both say essential.
Yes.
Okay. This is one I feel like it took me a while to figure out. We're in our 20s. We got introduced to technology of that type, you know, when we were like, what, teenagers? Like 12? So the appeal of texting to people constantly was always a thing. It wasn't until a couple of years ago where I realized that texting is not really communication because, one, people are busy. We have lives, you know what I'm saying? So they may not even pay attention. But also, two, some people may not even want to text all the time. Some people like communication in person. They love over the phone, FaceTiming. So, you know, so I view that, like, for me, it took me a while to figure that out. And I think it become better because of it. I'm a person where, like, I like deep conversation. I love getting to the nitty-gritty and stuff. Small talk is something I loathe. I loathe it. I loathe small talk. But the problem with me is that, like, when I'll talk to certain people, like, that awkward silence really gets to me. Where it's like I don't know what to say next, what to do, and it's just, you know, some people would just be like, yo, just relax. You know what I'm saying? I like your company, and you don't have to talk all the time.
That's another thing too. Oh my god, I love silence sometimes. Like, what? I like deep conversation and like silence.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It doesn't have to be awkward. Like, oh, I'm so glad you said that. I was the only one.
Yeah, and it's because like that's one of the things, like, it took me a while to figure that out, where everyone's just like, no, I just like being in your presence, your company.
I love that. Even like on FaceTime, like I just be like on FaceTime and not say anything.
Right.
And that's calm to me. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So,
do you prefer in person?
I prefer. I do like to text. I'm not gonna hold you.
Okay.
But like, I like in person. On FaceTime, isn't that not the same thing? Though?
It's not the same thing. However, it is still talking to somebody and seeing a face.
Okay.
Do you think that, you know, with you and your partner, have you felt like you had to relearn your partner through communication and stuff like that over time? Because again, I feel like, you know, you and your partner have been around for a while. I've known you guys for years.
Yeah.
So, you know, and not everything's going to be the same. They're going to be spats and, you know, little arguments. So you have to relearn somebody. Do you think that's, you know, something that's prevalent?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
okay. Go ahead.
Like, with me and my partner, I knew him for a while, like a long time at this point. When I was away, you know, for college, we couldn't see one another. So, like, the only thing that we can do is communicate through text and FaceTime. It's not like I could see him in person all the time. So, like, when it comes to, like, communicating in person, I do like it more. I'm not gonna hold you.
Okay.
Yes, I actually do. Especially because, like, since we have the opportunity to, like, talk in person, we might as well use it. So also like that's like the most human thing you could do anyway.
Yeah.
Talk in person.
Right.
Like we're social creatures at the end of the day. So like we might as well do that. Also like again, practice.
Yes.
When it comes to like, communicating everything.
Right.
Only like every other time we have like an argument, like I do have to like learn. But like maybe not just relearn.
Okay.
I guess so, because I do forget. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
We got a lot going on in our minds and our every day. So.
That's true. I guess like every time we do have an issue, we do have a spat. I guess I do have to like relearn everything.
Okay.
But at the same time, I have to like keep that in mind, the things that I say when it comes to communicating.
Right.
When it comes to that. But yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm always when it comes to me Leana, I'm always accountable. Let me just tell you this. I'm always I'm like, hey, I'm wrong.
Right.
I can say that. But like, that's so important when it comes to when it comes to a relationship. You have no idea. Like, just admit that you're wrong.
Right.
So we can go on. Like, it's not that hard. Like, why are people not accountable when it comes to like relationships? Really?
I think in terms of that, it's more insecurity because again, not like I'm saying, because a lot of people can be stubborn, and they know they're stubborn, right? But there's often times where it's good, again, like communication could just be off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much a big thing. I am very big on accountability as well. I think when it comes to accountability, and even with myself, I know that like, me, I could get very passionate about certain things. You know how I am. I get very passionate.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with it at all, but you have to be the bigger man and say like, you know what, yeah, I messed up. I'm a firm believer that like, it takes two to cause a rift, right? That's what I firmly believe. It takes two to cause a rift. And what I mean by that is that, yes, sometimes some partner could be tripping, but it's also how you react as well. It's not just, it's entirely his fault. He did everything wrong. Because some cases there are some guys, are pretty terrible, or women could be, wilding out. True. But most of the time, you got to realize when you're at fault too, and that it's a companionship for a reason.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But you're never gonna know unless you communicate.
Exactly. And there's always gonna be that time where you're gonna have like difficulty to talk about it with communication and having that conversation. But you'll feel a lot better afterwards. And why? Because you're holding yourself accountable and you're saying, you know what? I see where you're coming from. Here's my opinion on this.
Yes.
So I think that's up there. Like it's up there.
Let's be fair.
Yes.
I like being fair.
My thing with humility is that, no one ever wants to be the butt of jokes. And I think that's more teasing than it is. Yeah. But it's knowing, having a good sense of humor and just downright just being a jerk and, teasing somebody. You got to know the difference. And I think that's
true.
Yeah, I think that's really important on that aspect.
I'm so sensitive. I don't like that. I don't like being the butt of jokes. If you do that to me, I'm going to do that right back to you. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
But like, I don't know what to say with that. I try not to do it.
Okay.
When it comes to like making jokes.
Right.
That's just me. Mm-hmm. But again, other people can be different.
Right.
I just don't like that. I don't see the point.
Here's my thing. I don't see the point either unless it's like, mutually you both discussing, like, yeah, we can poke fun at each other. But, there got to be a boundary, a limit where it's like, all right, don't go that far. Right. That's really something that triggers me. That's a point where it's like, there's no return. Please don't go that far. Yeah, it goes with trust and everything else as well. I do think humility is important, though, in a relationship. Because, again, you don't want somebody who can't take a joke. You can't have somebody who can't poke fun of themselves. I find that as a big thing. If you cannot make fun of yourself, or even, like, for example, if you go on a date with somebody and you go to, like, a restaurant or even, like, somewhere like a arcade or something like that, and they're not playing the game. They're just sitting there because they don't want to look stupid. Why are you there? Why did you choose and say, yeah, I'm going to go? Just be like, I got to reschedule. Let's do something else. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's
true. You know what I'm saying? It's like going bowling and you don't want to bowl. You're just sitting there.
Yeah.
You're sitting there, eating chips and stuff. Like, what are we doing here? Let's have fun.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I need to start doing that now. Okay. See, accountability. Look what I'm doing.
It takes time, though. It takes time. Yeah.
Give me a second. I'll just...
How do you feel about shared interest? You think? Oh, I think shared interest to an extent. How do you feel about that, though? Like you guys have similar things you guys like.
Well, similar interests. We have some stuff in common, not everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's that essential.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn to do, things. I learned like, to do things that he's interested in,
Mm-hmm.
and he's also learning, to do things that I'm interested in.
Yes.
I think that's important.
Yes.
Than like
Yes, so,
having a shared interest. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Interesting. See, I agree. I do feel, however, shared interest is important because you don't want someone that's too different from you, but you don't want someone where you guys are like carbon copies.
Right.
They gotta be a good dichotomy, a good type of like middle ground where they have their stuff and their stuff. And I think where you're going is independence.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's interesting to say, and I do agree with independence. I think that's what I had to learn over time. Where like I wanted to always hang out with somebody constantly. I either wanted to hang out with them constantly, or it was just like I wanted my personal space. And you know what I'm saying? But you grow over time, you learn, and you figure yourself out.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a place now where like I do like my independence. I do like time to socialize, and I think it's that balance of, hey, you know what? I don't gotta be with you all the time. Have fun. Tell me after the fact.
Yeah.
I love hearing people's days and hearing about their good news. That's really one of the things that's like brighten, because I feel that as like deep conversation where it's like, oh really, what'd you do? Oh really, how did that make you like? Oh, that made me feel bad. Oh, I just love hearing people's day and hearing people having a good time. So that's like my thing. So shared interest, I think is good.
I feel like a lot of times there's a fear of being honest and genuinely expressing yourself. How do you feel about that?
Well, it shouldn't be like that, but why? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I can't lie to my partner.
Right.
Like, I can't lie. There's no reason for me to. Right. I just don't see the point.
Right.
But why are people not honest with their partner? That's my thing.
I feel like when it comes to honesty, there's that fear of like a reaction, of like how they'll react, instead of focusing on, you saying what you have to say and, owning up to it. Because at the end of the day, like, yes, they may genuinely be like, you know what, it is what it is, or they just accept what you say and go along with it, or the ones that are very explosive and be like, they go off on you, they call you names and stuff like that. And I agree, why are you with them at the end of the day?
Exactly, why are you with them then?
Yeah, and like I said, it's one of the things too where it's like, people who chase and persist when it's like, you're being honest with them, genuinely honest, they can tell, you know what I'm saying, you gotta respect it.
Yeah.
But I do feel like there's a lot of people who aren't really honest because they don't really understand their own emotions or even be able to process them in a healthy manner. You know what I'm saying?
They gotta do the work for themselves first.
Yes.
Before they do any of that.
Right.
So, it really depends on your situation, honestly. But honestly, focus on yourself first, and then proceed.
With self-esteem comes honesty as well, because you have nothing really to hide, and you're comfortable, and you're owning up to yourself.
Right.
I feel like with vulnerability, again, it's that fear as well of like, if I'm, I gotta be something else. They can't see who I am. The person cannot see me at my lowest point.
Oh, that's also important. See, you're naming all the things that's like important in a relationship.
Right.
Why wouldn't you be vulnerable with your partner? Your partner should be vulnerable with you as well. Right. So like, also like, when you're with your partner, you're supposed to be, one, right? Right. So why not be vulnerable? Why can't you let your partner see yourself in like a low state? I don't really know why. Right. But why is that? Do you know why?
I feel like in terms of vulnerability, again, it could just be like, an individual who feels like, showing that shows weakness. Like, I can't be seen weak in front of this person.
What's wrong with that?
That's what I'm saying. Nothing wrong with it. And like, even like people who like, they only want you to see a certain image of themselves, that just shows the insecurity in themselves. Because again, they want to seem perfect or don't want to ruin anything.
Man, forget
That's
being perfect.
Saying. I feel the same as that.
Come on, no one is perfect.
Exactly.
Please.
And like, honestly, if people could see that, it gives you more respect for them. Because at the end of the day, it shows that you're able to express yourself. You're not ashamed. There's no shame behind crying. It's being in tune with your emotions and being able to say that, you know what, I feel anxious. I feel fear. And allowing those emotions to flow through you rather than stopping and hindering it, because the body keeps score, and because of that, you may get, a pain in your stomach or a headache or something like that. Emotional intelligence is all the more important when it comes to relationship. And I feel like with emotional intelligence, it takes time to get to that point. But if you have a partner who, for example, can't have different conversations, they mask it with like drugs or like, you know, excessive eating or anything that harms themselves, that's a key indicator of that. One, they need to get themselves in check, like you always say, work on yourself.
Work on yourself.
But also, it's a reflection of yourself and saying, you know what, yes, those things happen. Maybe I'm going for these people for a reason, and maybe I'm not visually seeing that. But again, emotional intelligence I think is important. Being
That's
able
very
to,
important.
yeah,
At least for me, I know I'm emotionally intelligent. I'm sensitive. Like, come on, I have to. I'm always emotional.
Right.
But like, I want my partner to be, you know, emotionally intelligent as well.
Right.
Like, I want to express what I'm feeling.
Right.
Like, who doesn't?
Yeah.
What? Hold on. My goodness. Like, why not?
Sadness is an important emotion that we all have to experience. Well, then that's all the topics. What a show!
That's episode 2, you guys.
Episode 2.
All right, tune in for the next one.
Yo, we'll see you next time. Next week. Next time.
Next time.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Later.